Today is the 32nd anniversary of the Rodney King beating. On March 3, 1991, Rodney King was speeding on the I-210 when he was spotted by police. He was already on parole for a robbery conviction dating back to 1989, and that night, in addition to speeding, he had been drinking. Panicked about his parole status, he then led cops on a nearly 8-mile chase through the streets of Los Angeles. According to the officer's statements from that night, when Rodney King was finally stopped, he refused requests to get in the prone position and appeared to charge one of the officers. 4 of the officers then proceeded to beat Rodney King, tasering him, kicking him, and striking him with their batons over 50 times. He suffered 11 fractures as well as brain and kidney damage. In what would become the first viral video, local resident George Holliday happened to capture the footage on his brand new VHS recorder. He gave the tape to local news station KTLA, who then proceeded to share it with the world. People everywhere were shocked by the brutality and excessive force used in the attack. However, the local minority population had complained for years about mistreatment and abuse from the police. While the 4 officers were charged, on April 29, 1992, they were all acquitted. That verdict, along with years of underlying racial tension and mistrust between the community and the police department, culminated in 6 days of violent riots across Los Angeles. Over 1,000 Marines, 600 Army soldiers, and 6,500 National Guardsmen were called in to assist the police with regaining order and control. By the time the riots ended, there were over 50 riot-related deaths, more than 2,000 injuries, and nearly 6,000 arrests for looting and arson. In total, over 1,000 buildings were damaged or destroyed, 2,300 stores were looted or burned, and $1 billion worth of property was destroyed. In 1993, there was a civil trial held for the 4 officers involved in the attack on Rodney King. Only 2 of the officers, Timothy Wind and Theodore Brazino, were found guilty, and they both served 30 months in prison. The other 2 officers, Stacy Kuhn and Lawrence Powell, were not found guilty, but they were fired from the LAPD. Rodney King was later awarded nearly $4 million from the city of Los Angeles. Unfortunately, due largely in part to his addiction to alcohol and his drug use, Rodney King would go on to have several run-ins with the law in the following years. On June 17, 2012, he drowned in his swimming pool while under the influence of drugs and alcohol. He was just 47 years old. While instances of police brutality and misconduct are seen more and more with the advent of smartphones, the beating of Rodney King and the subsequent trial and fallout remains a pivotal moment in history. Be sure to follow if you'd like to see tomorrow's Today in History.